unfortunately, another situation happened in Washington, D.C. involving someone that has been, boy, he's had a year. I actually had a chance to meet this young man and text with this young man. He is known as Big Balls. Now, remember, Big Balls nearly got run out of the government because he was a quote-unquote racist. Remember? Big Balls nearly got run out of the government. This is a very important story, everybody. Now, I want you guys, Blake, can you remind me why he almost got run out of the government? It was some like tweet or social media post, and J.D. Vance stood up for Big Balls. His name is Edward Corstini. And he was basically the victim of an online lynch mob trying to kick him out of the federal government for thought crimes, for he said something spicy. But this is so important. Oh, is it a different guy? I thought they were trying to run this guy out. It wasn't Big Balls? Oh, a different guy said the Indian thing. Got it. Big Balls is just a meme. Got it. Well, Big Balls apparently is, quote unquote, a different person on the team. So I stand corrected. But the point remains. They were trying to run this guy out of government. They were trying to run him out of government because of DOGE. They were trying to dox this young man. They were trying to destroy this young man's life. That is correct. What happened the other night was remarkable. Two teenagers were I'm so sick of this. Oh, yeah, teenagers. I wonder, teenagers at 3 a.m. going wilding trying to carjack. Teenagers. Do you notice they never use the race when it's blacks, but they almost always use the race when it's whites? And if it ends up being two white offenders, I will correct the record and I will apologize. I will. We don't quite know yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion I think we all know because they're not telling us. Two teenagers, ridiculous, were arrested. Don't you guys hate that? Isn't teenage crime the problem in this country? You know, teenage carjacking. Two teenagers were arrested in connection to the attempted carjacking of a former Department of Government Efficiency staffer known as Big Balls. Authorities said the 15-year-old suspects who were charged with the unarmed carjacking were among several teens who allegedly approached the victim, Edward Costanini, and a woman police identified around 3 a.m. Sunday in the Washington's Logan Circle neighborhood. This group allegedly made comments about taking the car before Costanini pushed his significant other into the vehicle for safety and prepared to confront the group. Law enforcement officials said Costanini turned to face the teenagers and several of them attacked him until police patrolling the area intervened. The group fled on foot when the police approached, authorities said. And so this is heroic behavior. This is like Trump and Butler. This is Daniel Penny-esque. This young man should be on the front page of every single newspaper. This is the type of son that I want this is the type of man I want my son to grow up to be. To defend women against a mob. And I think we know what kind of mob it actually is. I don't see it on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. I don't see it on the front page of the New York Times. Mike Lee wants to give him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, if he had shot and killed one of these attackers, they would try to indict him for murder. That is the left. But here is a young white man who's working in the federal government as a DOGE staffer, very similar to Kyle Rittenhouse. And we are only saying, well, these were just a bunch of youths and teenagers. Oh, a bunch of teenagers going carjacking at 3 a.m. We should no longer put up with this. We should treat juvenile individuals at an adult threshold. We should have the juvenile threshold at the adult. And this young man could have been killed. President Trump is calling for 14 years and older, and he is right. And I believe it's time to exercise the federalization of Washington, D.C. Bring in the troops, cut out the crime, federalize Washington, D.C. President Trump has the power to do it. He has exercising home rule over the nation's capital. Make D.C. the safest city in America. Bring in the Marines. Call in the Insurrection Act. Make the crime go to zero. Use it as an example. Make D.C. as safe as Tokyo. Make D.C. as safe as Singapore. Make D.C. as safe as Seoul, South Korea. We can do it, but we choose not to because we don't want to we don't want to offend the teenagers. You see, I know so many of you, when you're out at night, you're worried about teenager crime. How can we call ourselves a superpower when our great capital is a dangerous dump? Beijing isn't like this. Tokyo's not like this. But D.C. is, and it's because we're choosing. It's time to federalize D.C., roll in the tanks, bring in the military, federalize the town, and bring teenage crime to zero.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.